All right, welcome back to the show, everyone, and good morning to you. I had a member's request to check out this video right here. It's titled LeBron James's Unnatural Longevity and a Shadow of Suspicion. Yes, we're calling out more crap here. It's from a channel called Cliff Lodi, and they got about 6,000 subscribers. I am not subscribed to this channel. I have not heard of this channel, but we're going to see if we like it. But I bring that up just because it is going to be down in the description. The link to the original video is going to be down in the description like it always is. So if you guys want to go there and check out the channel, the link is going to be right there for you. All right. And let's see, I also wanted to give a shout out to Kevin O. We got a new channel member in here. So shout out to you, my friend. Thank you very much. I appreciate your support. And you also see a list of channel members in that description box as well. So shout out to all of you guys. I appreciate you all. I'm curious to see what this video is going to be all about. So I say let's get into it.
The year is 2025. Father Time remains the undisputed, undefeated champion of everything, except apparently he never got the memo about LeBron James. At 40 years old and heading into his 23rd NBA season, the King is still throwing down tomahawk dunks on players young enough to be his kids.
And this is a recent video. This is from this week.
Performing at a level that has rewritten the rules of biology. Meanwhile, what about his peers from that legendary 2003 draft? They're now coaches, podcasters. This incredible defiance of aging leads to the question the entire sports world whispers in back alleys and encrypted group chats. Is the King's Fountain of Youth drink just Gatorade?
No.
Or is it a radioactive cocktail of banned substances and a splash of denial? Let's talk about the ghost of a story involving a Miami wellness clinic called Biogenesis.
Okay, this video is just gonna go right for the jugular. Let's go.
Let's ask the forbidden question. Is LeBron juicing? To get a sense of this anomaly, let's take a stroll through the NBA's career graveyard. 2003 NBA draft.
Okay.
Only one man still stands. 2004 NBA draft. An entire class of ghosts. Not a single active player remains. 2005 NBA draft. Chris Paul, the last grizzled gunslinger from his class, is still miraculously lacing them up. 2006 NBA draft. PJ Tucker and Kyle Lowry have likely hung it up, their knees finally getting a well-deserved vacation. Now let's start with the official record. LeBron James has never failed a drug test, but here's what we know defies nature. He just wrapped his 22nd season, playing heavy minutes in nearly every game. His body should be a roadmap of wear and tear, but at 40, he still reportedly has a vertical leap of over 40 inches. The same as his rookie self. The science is clear. Joint deterioration for elite athletes can begin in their 30s. After 2 decades of high-impact abuse, your cartilage should have the structural integrity of wet tissue paper.
Joint deterioration can begin in your 30s and 40s. If you have abused your joints, stuff will start earlier.
Yep.
This brings us to the King's real superpower, the power of silence. The ability of LeBron James and his clutch sports empire to control the narrative is a masterclass in modern media. Go ahead, try a YouTube for LeBron James, David Alexander, and Ernest Randy Mims, names connected to the Biogenesis fallout. You'll find a digital landscape that has been mysteriously scrubbed clean. This isn't just good PR, this is CIA-level information management. LeBron isn't just an athlete, he's a media conglomerate. With deep ties to ESPN and his own production house, he isn't part of the story, he is the story. He's the writer, director, and leading man. So is that why he seems shielded? The statistical...
Speaking of the whole media thing, I read an article earlier today that was basically Nick Wright addressing that all the accusations that he's associated with the LeBron camp, and he basically confirms it without... Basically, his words were something along the lines of, yeah, I do a little business with Rich Paul, sort of, sometimes, kind of. And I was like, okay, yeah. So he's basically he's doing what he can to admit it without fully admitting it. You know what I mean? So yeah, I mean, pretty much. I'm at the point where I think most of our suspicions are true as far as who works for the LeBron camp, who's actually getting paid from them, or as Nick Wright says, do a little business with them sometimes.
anomaly. At age 40, in his 22nd season in the National Basketball Association, LeBron James produced a statistical line that would be the envy of most players in their prime: 24.4 points, 7.8 rebounds, and 8.2 assists per game. This level of performance is not merely elite, it is a profound deviation from the established norms of athletic aging, a phenomenon that challenges historical precedent. We have witnessed greatness before. We have seen longevity, but the synthesis of the two on this scale, sustained for over 2 decades, is something entirely new. It is a career that prompts a fundamental question: how is this possible? The term unnatural longevity has attached itself to James's career precisely because his performance metrics defy the natural arc of decline seen in even the
dark side could be a pathway that's to some abilities that some people may call unnatural.
most legendary.
Sorry, I completely botched that. I was just laughing at the idea. Oh man, anybody else kind of see LeBron as Anakin Skywalker sometimes? Like, he was the chosen one. For real, he was the chosen one, and then he just went down the dark path, the easy path.
athletes. He is the oldest player in NBA history to average more than 25 points per game, a milestone he has surpassed at ages 36, 37, 38, and 39. He holds the unique distinction of being both the youngest player at 19 years and 88 days and the oldest at 40 years and 38 days to score 40 or more points in a single game. Perhaps most tellingly, he stands alone as the league's all-time leading scorer, having eclipsed Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's long-standing record of 38,387 points, a mark that is as much a testament to endurance as it is to skill. This sustained excellence, achieved in an era of faster play and unprecedented athleticism, is the foundation of his legacy. It is also the very thing that fuels both immense admiration and, in some corners, a persistent shadow of suspicion.
The Balco story, allegedly.
A career against time. LeBron James's longevity is not a product of careful preservation or significant load management. It is a story of remarkable durability under an immense workload. Over 22 seasons, he has accumulated more than 1,500 regular season games and participated in nearly 300 playoff contests, including 8 consecutive trips to the NBA Finals between 2011 and 2018. The sheer volume of high-intensity minutes logged is staggering, placing a physical toll on his body that few athletes in history have ever endured. This consistent availability, season after season, forms the bedrock of his statistical accumulation and makes his sustained high-level performance all the more extraordinary.
You know, the only thing that makes this video really difficult to react to is he never takes a break in his speech. So it's constant. The way he edits his videos, the speech is constant from one sentence to another. So it's a little hard because it just keeps going. Very informative, though.
Analysis: LeBron versus the ghosts of GOATs past. To truly contextualize the unprecedented nature of James's late career performance, it is essential to benchmark it against the two figures most often placed alongside him in the greatest of all time debate, Michael Jordan and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Their careers provide the historical
Why is he always breathing so hard? What is this? It's a funny animation.
Standard for elite aging, and the contrast is stark. Michael Jordan's final 2 championship seasons with the Chicago Bulls at ages 33 and 34 were legendary. He led the league in scoring and was the finals MVP in both years. Yet even then, his statistics showed a subtle but natural decline from his absolute apex in the late 1980s and early 1990s. After a 3-year retirement, his return with the Washington Wizards at ages 38 and 39 revealed a more significant and expected drop-off. In those 2 seasons, he averaged 22.9 and 20.0 points per game, respectively.
Yeah, and then the very natural thing did happen at that time. He finally started dealing with a lot of injuries, so the numbers declined. But that's what should be happening at the age of 40.
While still impressive, these figures represent a clear regression from his prime and stand in sharp contrast to the numbers James has posted at a similar age. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is perhaps the ultimate benchmark for NBA longevity, having played 20 seasons and retiring at age 42. He famously adapted his game, relying less on raw athleticism and more on his unstoppable skyhook as he aged. His statistical trajectory follows a classic, graceful decline. From age 35 to his final season at age 41, his scoring average decreased steadily from 21.8 points per game to 10.1, while his minutes per game fell from 32.3 to 22.9. This is the model of what is considered a normal and highly successful end-of-career arc for a superstar.
Yeah. The same with Chris Paul. Watching Chris Paul right now, I appreciate watching him because I know this is the end. You know, it's coming to an end, whether it's one more season or two more seasons. But it doesn't mean we're going to get, 25 points a game, 10 assists, anything crazy like that. It's going to be more like 8 points a game and, maybe 5 assists. But that's what's natural at his age.
LeBron James's career path diverges sharply from these models. In the seasons from age 35 to 39, his statistical output has remained remarkably close to his career averages, and in some metrics has even peaked. At age 35, he led the entire NBA in assists with an average of 10.2 per game, a career high. At age 37, he averaged 30.3 points per game, his highest scoring mark in over a decade. This defiance of the typical aging curve is what sets him apart. The data that so powerfully supports his case for being the greatest of all time is the very same data that invites skepticism. An athlete's performance is expected to decline with age due to clear physiological limitations, a pattern observed in Jordan and Abdul-Jabbar. James's statistics do not follow this pattern.
I mean, not just Jordan and Jabbar, like literally every athlete we've ever seen throughout history. So what's so different about LeBron James? I mean, his fans would just say, oh, he's just that great. He takes care of his body. But didn't a lot of these other dudes do the same thing and take care of their bodies? And it's not like LeBron never gets injured. He just recovers super fast because he deals with like 2 or 3 injuries per season, at least he says. But if we're going to believe him, if that's the narrative here, we're going to just believe LeBron as the source of valid information, then he's getting injured multiple times a year. But then he recovers faster than like a teenager would at the, in his 40s. I don't think so, dude. That's not natural.
Statistical anomaly creates 2 divergent interpretations. For his supporters, it is the ultimate testament to his greatness, a combination of genetic gifts, work ethic, and an unprecedented investment in his body that allows him to conquer the normal aging process. For skeptics, this same deviation from the norm is what appears unnatural and therefore suspicious. It is so far outside the established boundaries of athletic possibility that it suggests to some that an external artificial factor must be at play. His historic longevity is not just a record, it is a catalyst for controversy. The better he plays, the more questions some will ask. While whispers and fan speculation have long followed James's career, the most direct and high-profile allegation of performance-enhancing drug, PED use, came from a fellow NBA player. In a July 2025 episode of his Club 5...
Okay, just to wrap up what he was saying there, I really think he's doing himself a disservice by continuing to play. The PED allegations, if he would have retired after his 4th championship during COVID, like if he would have just retired and said, that's it, I've won a championship every team I've been on, I'm done, rank me how you want. A lot of these PED things would have just got buried. But the fact that he keeps coming back year after year after year, and he's still coming back for another year next year, that's why all this is coming back, because this could have been buried many years ago.
520 podcast, former All-Star guard Jeff Teague made an explosive claim.
Miami Heat he was on steroids, bro. He had to sit out. He was on steroids for real. like legit was on steroids, bro. Allegedly, but like he had to sit out. But y'all remember when they told him like they
plus sports allegations?
Y'all remember that though? Nah, when they was like he got everybody. They started testing for HGH, and they was like, yo, and he had to sit out. Like he said his back was hurt, and he sat out for like 3 weeks, and he came back skinny. This is just I was in the league. I remember, and he came back in. He was crazy though.
He specifically tied these events to the 2014-15 NBA season, which was James's.
And that's why he speaks it so factually here that I don't want to hear that apology rebuttal that he did. And I saw what he said. And it's obviously fake, because here he is talking to his buddies and even so confident about it, going, y'all don't remember that when this happened and this happened? Like, come on, guys. Like, he's actually frustrated that they're not agreeing with him, but they're doing it to save their own ass. He's just not very self-aware in this moment. But he's so confident that he's frustrated. His friends aren't like, yeah, I remember that. And that's why at the end, he basically ends it with, what's he say? I was in the league.
And he came back in. He was crazy though.
Nah, that might have been a
He specifically
Hold up.
Back was hurt and he sat out for like 3 weeks and he came back skinny. This is just, I was in the league.
There it is. I was in the league. I remember. Now he's frustrated with his buddies. So it was not a joke, you guys. There's nothing about that was a joke. There was no laughing. There was no punchline. They were just talking.
specifically tied these events to the 2014-15 NBA season, which was James's first year back with the Cleveland Cavaliers after his 4-year tenure with the Miami Heat. The retraction and aftermath. Faced with immediate backlash, Teague quickly retreated from his comments. He posted on his Instagram story that he was simply joking and that James was just that dominant. Teague's subsequent retraction received significantly less attention. The bell could not be unrung.
Yep.
The allegation.
Honestly, the funny thing is that retraction just basically confirmed it for, I mean, at least for me. Not that I needed it, but it reaffirms the entire thing, because it's like, that quickly they made him retract it, and that sloppy of a retraction, he just did it real quick, like, I was just joking, y'all, obviously you weren't. So then now we just brushed that aside and we go, they're 100% covering their tracks.
Became a permanent, searchable part of the public record, guilt by association. The Biogenesis Files, Operation Strikeout, the most substantive, albeit indirect, link between LeBron James and the world of PEDs emerged from the fallout of one of the largest doping scandals in American sports history. The Biogenesis of America scandal, which broke in 2013, centered on a Miami area rejuvenation clinic run by a self-described biochemist named Anthony Bosch. The clinic was found to be a major supplier of PEDs, particularly HGH, to a host of Major League Baseball players, leading to the suspensions of stars like Alex Rodriguez and Ryan Braun. The federal investigation into the clinic was dubbed Operation Strikeout, the ESPN bombshell. A decade later, in September 2023, the story resurfaced with a new dimension. ESPN investigative reporter Mike Fish published a detailed report based on over 1,400 pages of unredacted U.S. Drug Enforcement Administration (DEA) investigative documents he had obtained. These files revealed a list of previously unknown names that had surfaced during the federal probe. Among them were 2 individuals from LeBron James's innermost circle, his longtime trainer, David Alexander, and his lifelong friend and business manager, Ernest Randy Mims. The appearance of these names immediately tied James by association to the scandal. Who is Randy Mims? To understand the significance of his name appearing in DEA files, one must understand the role Ernest Randy Mims plays in LeBron James's life.
Okay.
Mims is not a peripheral figure. He is part of the foundation. They are childhood friends from Akron, Ohio, who grew up together. Mims has been a constant presence throughout James's journey, evolving from personal assistant and manager to his current role as chief of staff and a trusted confidant. He is a member of the Four Horsemen, the tight-knit group of friends, along with Maverick Carter and Rich Paul, who form the core of James's business empire. Mims has held official front office titles with every team James has played for as an adult: the Cavaliers, Heat, and Lakers, acting as a player liaison and a stabilizing presence. This deep, lifelong integration into James's personal and professional life is why his connection to the probe was so explosive. He is not a casual acquaintance, but a core member of the inner sanctum.
And why would he be associated? I'm sorry, he's obviously not taking performance enhancers for himself. You know what I mean? He's a businessman. So why would he have any affiliation with this? Yeah, the only tie is LeBron James. And then why would RP Rich Paul ever be at that laboratory, that facility? Picking up a bag for LBJ or LB.
David Alexander, David Alexander is a high-profile figure in the world of athletic training. He is the founder of DBC Fitness, a prominent Miami-based facility that caters to elite athletes across various sports. His connection to James stems from his time training the superstar during his tenure with the Miami Heat. Alexander also served as the personal trainer for James's wife, Savannah. As a trainer to the stars, Alexander's name being linked to a PED supplier is inherently problematic and invites scrutiny of his methods and clients. This leaves the central question unanswered. If not for artificial enhancement, how is his longevity possible? Extraordinary achievement will almost inevitably be shadowed by extraordinary suspicion. For some, no amount of evidence or official clearance will ever be enough to quell the questions raised by a performance that so radically redefines the limits of what is possible. His career will forever be analyzed, celebrated, and, by some, doubted. A testament to a greatness so profound it forces us to question everything we thought we knew about the arc of an athlete's life. Like and share and subscribe, and tell me if you think LeBron James' greatness comes from his longevity, and if the longevity has been enhanced, does that still make him great? Thanks for watching.
If it's enhanced, does it still make him great? No, I mean, I don't even want to go down that road. What it does, based off history, it scrubs him off the record books. That's all I care about. Everybody else can have that conversation. Oh, is he still great? You know, considering, because I've heard those conversations about other players in other sports. You know, we can sit here all day and ask, like, is Lance Armstrong still great? I mean, probably, but it doesn't matter because all those records, they got to get, you know, they're scrubbed. It doesn't matter. All the titles got to get scrubbed. So the history books is all I really care about at this point. When it comes to this, everybody else can have their own opinions. Is he a good basketball player before he was on steroids? Yeah, he was pretty good. He was really good. Had a lot of potential. He had the potential of being, you know, one of the greatest of all time in my mind. Started doing PEDs, allegedly. And here we are now. And if and when this does come out and everything gets revealed, I'm not holding back at that point. You know, cheaters are cheaters, dude. So I've been the same way about players in other sports that I have idolized and then found out that they were cheating the game. And after that, I'm like, well, yeah. I used to used to love watching Barry Bonds play, but it sits where it sits now, doesn't it? You know, used to love Mark McGuire, Jose Canseco, all these dudes. I used to, you know, I think I still got a Mark McGuire rookie card somewhere, dude. Like I've been a fan and a collector since I was a kid when it comes to these dudes, and then to get to, you know, adulthood basically, and then to find out that it turns out that these guys were cheating the game. Carl Lewis was another one, man. That one stung really bad. It still does to this day. That one, like, I don't even want to believe it, but I can't not. Like, the evidence is everywhere. So yeah, I've had to go through this, and at that point it's like, well, who's the best runner of all time? Well, probably Usain Bolt. You know, like I can't say it's Carl anymore, unfortunately, and that sucks, but that's just the way this game goes. And if you cheat the game, then eventually it's going to come out. And that whole thing, the irony is you cheat the game because you're so consumed about your legacy and how people are going to remember you. But then the fact that you cheated the game ends up erasing every accomplishment you ever did. So that's kind of the moment I'm waiting for LeBron. Because damn, man, this guy just won't stop. You know, it's not like he did some PEDs and played a couple of years, you know, and then he left on top, making us wonder what the hell we just saw. No, this guy is like a cockroach. He won't leave. You know, he won't stop, and it's not even leading to winning. It's just leading to more suspicion. So I don't even know what the hell he's trying to do here, why he's doing it. At this point, he should have retired years ago, but at least now, like, he could have just, you know, new ownership in LA. He has a problem with Luka being there or whatever. It's Luka's team now. Obviously, it's Luka's team. He just got a huge deal. So retire, man. It's over. You're not going to get 7 championships at this point. It's just not. It's not going to happen. And even if he did stick around long enough and somehow got 7 championships, yeah, we're going to be a lot more suspicious over is this natural or not. So I think if for, you know, in his best interest, he would just leave. But anyways, that's me. I don't know what you guys think about it. I think it's pretty clear as day. Before I ever saw any evidence, I was always already joking around that, like, man, this ain't natural, whatever's going on here. Like, I've seen this show before, you know, in other sports, in other players. I've seen this before. This ain't natural. And now it's like 10 years later. And like, for me, you know, with what evidence has been presented thus far, there's no doubt in my mind that of what's going on. But what about you guys? Like, if we never got any more evidence to this day, or like if we never got any more evidence than what we have right now, where do you stand on it? What do you think is the actual truth? Like, just you. I'm not saying prove it. I'm saying, what do you actually believe? What do you feel? Because that's what I feel. And the more evidence is just more confirmation of it. But the feeling is it's been there for 10 years. So anyways, you guys, I am out of here. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for the suggestion. If you like this channel, go check it out. The link is down below in the description. And everyone, like the vid, subscribe to the channel if you want more content like this. And most importantly, be water, my friends.